everyone. Welcome on in. Andy Petrillo, Gareth Wheeler, Jordan Wilson with you. We continue our preview heading into the 2025 CPL season. Let's turn our attention to York United, who had a strong season last year. Jordo making the playoffs as well. But here's the thing. They lose their coach in the offseason who goes to Liga MX. Their two best players, as we know, now wear orange. And now the weight of the 2025 season rests on the shoulders of a 16-year-old who's going to turn 17 on April 8th. Reminder, my birthday's April 9th. Just expecting some gifts. Anyway.
How old are you turning? How old are you turning,
How
Andy?
can we forget?
Not 17, but I digress very quickly here. Very quickly, I digress. What is the biggest storyline, though, for York, Jordo, heading into this season?
The year of Eustachio. Like that for me is going to be the biggest thing that you're looking at. The 32-year-old that gets an opportunity. As much as you want to compete in this game, everyone is rooting for this young manager to go out and show what he can do and how he can really lead this squad. From a guy who's played in this league, from a guy who's been an assistant coach under Martin Nash and Benjamin Moore as well, and going and now getting his chance. This is his time to lead this homegrown team. Most players from Woodbridge, most players from Brampton, most players from the York area. This is just littered with homegrown talent. Can you get someone that is so likable and has knowledge of the game and has a rich history in the 32-year-old Mario Eustachio and all these young players that have returned home, that have played in this league or played elsewhere, but get to represent what they grew up in? This is a beautiful story, but this is one that needs to be treated. They got to go and win. Like that's the only way. That's the only way to look at it, is you have to have a successful season, because if you don't, there are so many people waiting to be like, Mario's too young and he wasn't ready, and these players didn't have any star power, and you need to have foreigners. So this is such an experiment for this team to hit the ground running and really have a successful year.
Just to add on that, this is the second year for the Pascal brothers in charge of York United, and they made some significant changes after taking over the club. I think they understand the league a little bit more. I think they understand the importance of having local players playing for the club. And based upon their experience in Mexican football, like, there's no excuses. Jordan's right. They need to go and win. They want to be competitive year in, year out. And they brought in some really intriguing players. It's how Eustachio pieces them together and the type of football that he wants to play, which will be decisive how far this team can go.
All right, let's talk about some off-season additions here, Wheels. What do you think York has done that you think will make them competitive?
Well, Sholajimo's like the standout returnee from this squad, but I think they need to be careful with him because he still is 17 years old. After all, it's not that they won't play him, but I think that the supporting cast will have to help him through some difficult times. So you look at the likes of Yates, Altabelli, Gabby Batar, like really good experienced players in the CPL that they brought in to surround a player like that, which I like. I mean, for me, the main course is Massimo Ferrin, though, because this was a player who was one of the top players in the Canadian Premier League with Halifax Wanderers 2 seasons ago. Last year, he started the season. He wasn't fully fit. Patrice Geyser wasn't starting him from the get-go, and it took him a while to get his stride and really to stretch out his legs and to be in a position where he looked like the player he was 2 seasons ago. With a proper off-season, with the fact that he's coming home, I expect him to hit the ground running. And if he doesn't perform to his ability, then I just question how good this team may be. He's such a critical piece to the equation, and I'm expecting big things, a massive season from Massimo in 2025.
Well done, Wheels, as you do it again with the alliteration. But look, in the past 2 seasons, you scored 8 in 2023, Massimo Ferrin, and 6 last season, and that was an off year. So anything under those numbers, it would be a failure. And I'm looking at a player in Adonijah Reed as well, coming back home, who didn't have a great time in Pacific, had 0 goals last season. A player of this caliber, Generation Adidas guy, this was a name that has been thrown around so many times in his career, has to go and produce. Wearing the number 10 for York United at home, that is also a responsibility to be the magic man, be the difference maker. Pressure's on him. I hope he rises to the occasion.
All right, there you go. Even though the CPL season begins on April 5th, we will see York United on April 6th. It's opening weekend after all. It's not opening day, and they will take on Vancouver FC. The 2025 season can be seen right here, as always, on One Soccer.